Well guys, here we go, episode 3 of Married at First Sight, and our first 4 couples are now on honeymoon. And again, it's a game of contrast here, because we have Kieran and Christina who seem absurdly happy. They just seem to really, I suppose, love each other, and they're really enjoying their honeymoon. Then we have, in contrast, Eve and Charlie, who seem to have already fallen out, to the point, right, where after some argument in the swimming pool, Eve decided to get a separate room.
I do think Charlie, sometimes she can be a bit much, a bit over the top with affection and stuff. The only thing I am worrying about is the amount of space that I would like.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, like I'm okay. I need patience from Charlie. Pull, and she was a wee bit much. She kept asking me if it was okay over and over again, so I just said, listen, yeah, like I'm okay, like chill out. She just got up quite abruptly. I don't like the way she just bang, temper, bang, exploded. It was a big red flag. So I decided to get a separate apartment. I don't want to make her feel like I don't like her. I need my own space.
Or apartment at the resort they're staying in. So they're not even sharing a room now. So that's pretty bad. And then of course we have Emma and CASPER. And CASPER's struggling. I mean, we all know that he struggled with Emma anyway, because he went on about how she reminded him of his sister. But now he's struggling with Emma's physical figure. And he saw her in a bikini, and he's not too happy with what he saw. He says, I don't really go for curvy women. But I thought that would have all come up, though, when they asked him at the beginning of the series with the dating experts what sort of figure he liked. But obviously Emma's not very happy about that.
Very confident in herself and her body. But first time seeing Emma in a bikini, I'm not feeling the sexual sparks that I was hoping to feel. Liking a more petite woman, generally, is something that I've always fancied, more than curves. That's just my preference.
And of course then we have Lacy and Nathan, which was, yeah, I mean, a bit of a weird one, because it's almost like Lacy's acting like a carer to Nathan rather than a wife. She's being very nice to him, but I think she's still trying to push him to deliver more, and he just isn't delivering. But maybe that'll change.
I think you're really cool.
Cool. Cool. It's just quite a bit simple. Can I have a bit more than a cool?
Oh yeah, got you. I think you're really beautiful, and yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen for the rest of the honeymoon.
I definitely need some more, words than cool.
Well, even Charlie make up on the sofa and seem to resolve things, although it's precarious. I think it's highly likely that fallout is going to occur again.
Do you think you needed that much space? I just don't really get it. I thought we were in this as a team. I thought that we, that we would talk things out, that we'd clear the air. You wouldn't just go to bed and just leave me wondering what the hell is going on.
You snapped at me, just goes, right, I'm off.
And you didn't, by telling me to chill out. We probably would have squashed it and it would have been all right. But I just think it was the fact
how am
that
I
you
meant
went
to
and
know
took
that?
12 hours and just left me here. Don't you think that's quite rude?
No, I don't.
That's not teamwork. That's not us working together. That's not what a marriage is in my eyes.
I need a wee bit more time sometimes to feel comfortable enough.
Why do you want to be away from me so much already?
I understand.
I feel so rejected.
I understand your point 100%, and I'm really sorry I've made you feel like this. I am, okay, but...
But on the subject of fallouts, I have to say Emma and CASPER, it's not good. The day after he's told her that he's perhaps not attracted to her physically and doesn't really dig her figure, she's not happy with him. And I understand why. Who wants to be told that? But at the same time, he does say he's being honest, and I'm not quite sure what he's kind of supposed to do, except to be honest. But she really does not like his phrasing. She does tell him off a bit like a rather stern teacher, and he just seems completely lost. I think if they can resolve this and somehow find some magic somewhere, it'll be a miracle. But I don't see how one can force this kind of thing if he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. But what now? Are they just going to be stuck there together, not really liking each other, on a beautiful beach surrounded by a beautiful blue sea?
You know how to act around you. Because I'm like, oh, well, what? I don't know, what's he actually thinking or feeling, you know? Can you understand that?
I can understand that. I felt terrible saying it, but it was the truth and the honesty that we also need to progress. If in 2 weeks' time I said, yeah, I've just never really been feeling it, that lie there is a lot worse than the truth now, I would argue.
Do you think you could have phrased it better? Without bringing fucking size and shape into it?
Probably, yes.
Yeah. Poorly phrased. I'm a size 14. I'm not a fucking monster.
Okay, so I'm officially slightly concerned about Lacy and Nathan. Perhaps my concern is that you get the feeling that maybe Nathan's being slightly exploited here. He is clearly neurodivergent because, once again, Lacy repeats to him the story she told him at the wedding about how she lost 2 friends in a car crash and had a car crash herself. And they are discussing this as they eat food they prepared, local food. They're in the Gambia, hence they're dressed the way they're dressed. And she tells him the story again. He looks at her, kind of zones out, smiles and goes back to his food. And she's wondering why he's not more empathetic, why he's not asking more questions. But the thing is, being neurodivergent, he will absorb the information and then hours later perhaps regurgitate it, say something to her about it and want to talk about it more. And I think it's a bit kind of mean to expect him to respond in the way someone who isn't neurodivergent would respond. So I really hope we're not going to see him kind of be sidelined purely because he is that way. He needs someone to be patient and caring with him. And she clearly is caring, but whether she'll have the patience to put up with that, I don't know.
Not really. Would you be open to learning to drive?
Yeah, but things have happened in my life. I already mentioned this to Nathan before. He knows why I don't drive. Is he just not listening? I've lost 2 very good friends of mine to car crashes. And, I had a car crash. So for ages I kept, getting flashbacks every time I'd be in the car. I will get there, it's just obviously little hiccups in my life that's happened and made me feel not confident behind the wheel.
Cool.
Cool strikes again.
I kind of drawn a blank.
It would have been nice to have a bit more empathy from him when I was telling him about losing 2 friends in a car crash. I don't know, I feel like he didn't really give me much back.
Tempestuous is the word for Charlie and Eve, guys, because they really are going at a hammer and tongs here. And still sleeping in separate rooms. And then Charlie admits that despite that, they had sex the other night and then they still slept separately afterwards. So it's clearly not going well. They're arguing a lot, snapping a lot. And Eve, I just think, is finding Charlie too much. And Charlie wants more from Eve, but Eve is not giving it. So, yeah, I'm not sure the honeymoon will remain a honeymoon for them. I think it's going to be more like a Marmite moon by the end of the next few days.
Communicate and you want to talk about things, but it's the space thing. It's like you just walk, you go away, you go and sleep in another bed. It's just not sitting well with me. It's just not how I deal with things. Do you ever think you're mean to me, Charlie? No. I do. I think you're snappy with me. I do, and I don't know why. Oh, if I snapped at you? What happened last night? When you were screaming the house down, banging my door when I had to get out? When you walked out again, left me sleeping on my own again? You asked us. After having sex with me, you left me without no words. You got up, you walked out, you slammed the door. How are you saying that that's my fault?
How can two people, right?
Because you did exactly what you said you wouldn't do. You did exactly what you said you weren't going to do again, which was walk out on me, leave for the night, not message me back. You ran away again and went and slept in another room. You said that you wouldn't do that again, and you did exactly that 24 hours later.
And did that make you bang my door down when I tried to get away from you and scream?
I was shouting through your door to try and get your attention because you left me alone again.
I'm not doing this.
I am pleased to report that things are looking better in two camps, everyone. So we have Emma and CASPER, and they've definitely resolved things, and thankfully CASPER's agreed to, get on with Emma and try and find what they're looking for in each other, which is great, because I was concerned that his confession to her and all that kind of stuff would mean it just didn't happen and didn't progress further. But they look like they're going to make a go of it. So well done them. And in other good news, Lacy has decided to be understanding towards Nathan, spoke to him about his lack of empathy in regard to the friends she lost, etc. And he acknowledged it and said he's going to try a bit harder. She just has to keep pushing in order for him to let that guard down. And I think she also has to be understanding of his condition. And that's another thing she probably never considered she'd have to think about when she got married. And these are things I guess we don't have to. Before, sometimes you don't know everything, do you? And then you get married and you realise, oh, this person's got this or that. Because, earlier on in the show, Christina told Kieran that she had PMSDD or something, some condition that heightens her, I guess, pain and emotion when she's got her period. So that's kind of also going to affect their relationship in some way. But he's obviously said he's going to stand by her and support her. So that's another good thing. Now, where it's not good is with Charlie and Eve. It keeps getting worse and worse. So that evening, Eve says she's still not going to share the room with Charlie, and things just hit the wall. So I think, that's pretty much done. I mean, can it be resolved? I don't think it's going to be resolved at all. I think they'll probably want to separate by the end of this, because I think Eve just feels Charlie's too much, and Charlie feels like she's not getting enough from Eve. It looks not great.
Charlie just needs to understand that confrontation to that level, shouting and stuff, it's not something I can live with in a relationship. I am keeping my distance from Charlie just a wee bit, but I want her more. I'd like to get back to where we were and progress from there.
I do feel like the dynamic has changed. If I start slightly talking about the way that I'm feeling, every time she gets up and stomps off at the smallest little hurdle. But in my heart, I hope that she'll come back to the apartment tonight and stay with me. I'm lonely and I want to spend time with her.
Well, that didn't take long. We officially have our first person leaving the experiment. But before we get to that, let's remember Lacy and Nathan, who've ended this on a good note, guys. Episode 3 ends on a good note for them, with Nathan buying Lacy a necklace with, I believe, the Jamaican colours of the flag on the necklace, etc. And she really likes that. And she seems very happy now, and she seems to think he's listening and he's trying, which is great. And I really do feel like these guys could actually survive, which is good news. Nathan is, I think people on social media are misjudging him. He's not, he is the way he is because of the condition he has, and he just needs time and space and care and love, and he'll get there in the end.
Oh, did you? And it's got Jamaican colours.
Yeah, I know, because you're Irish Jamaican.
Yeah.
That's what I got for you.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Do you want me to put it on you?
Yes, please. Little things like this honestly means the most. And I love that he's listening and he's taking notes. So I definitely feel like, the conversations we've had earlier in the week are definitely starting to sink in.
Okay, my darling.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy, and it's definitely heading in the right direction.
Sadly for Eve and Charlie, Charlie has said, I'm leaving the experiment. She took her ring off at the table, threw it on the table, walked off. This was their last night, and again, they were still arguing. So I think they are pretty much done. But you know what? It's ironic, isn't it? Because in yesterday's episode, yeah, they were having the best wedding. Nathan and Lacy were not. Here we are, end of the honeymoons. Eve and Charlie are pretty much done, and Nathan and Lacy seem to be getting somewhere.
You get annoyed, so then I'm like, I can't do this. So I felt like you kept pushing me away, and you feel like I'm pushing you away.
You walked away.
Yeah, I took myself out of a situation.
Every single time it got a
You
little...
shout and you get angry.
You don't respect anything I say or
That
do.
is so... Are you telling me I don't respect you?
I said you don't respect anything I say.
That's not true.
You don't
That's
know.
not true.
Maybe that's not what you mean to do, but that's how I'm feeling, so
Okay,
I'm allowed
tell me.
to tell you that.
I do.
Exactly, and this is what you do, you just shut down when someone else tells you how they're feeling.
Right, I'm not listening to this.
And now you're going to do it exactly the same thing.
Yep.
Again.
Still shouting at me.
I'm not shouting. I will be leaving the experiment. There'll be no moving into any apartment, nothing. Goodbye. I just enjoy my evening. Alone. Like I have done the whole fucking honeymoon.
So we will see what happens to the other two couples. I presume it doesn't look like it's happening in the next episode, maybe the episode after. But I am holding out hope, especially for Emma and Casper. Kieran and Christina are just doing fabulous, aren't they? I think they're probably going to be married for 50,000 years. So there we go, guys. We'll see what happens in the episode tomorrow. Thanks, as always, for watching, and catch you tomorrow.